In the Hardaway 17, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on, man. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on, man. What's good, MP? What the fuck? My girl Jazz, Ricky Williams, what's good? TWT in the building. I see y'all good people in the building. We about to do this fight breakdown prediction between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. It's finally here. This is real spill, and this is not a drill, man. The big one, right? We know we had a Tim Zoo and Tommy Harrison fight last week, right? That was supposed to be the first big fight of the year with Jermell Charlo and Tim Zoo for Undisputed, right? Now we about to get the year started off the right way, the long way, the strong way. You know what I mean? With Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. This, in my opinion, right? This will be the first big fight. You know what I mean? We having this year between two big names on the big stage with big time implications, real history, real beef between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So this finna get good this weekend. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through. I'm gonna put the timestamps at the bottom of the video, right? So you don't have to when you catch the playback, if you catching the playback, if you ain't here live right now, you don't gotta stick around, for all the boring part, the middle part, the intro, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? But we got Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. What's good, Rick? MP, what the fuck? He said 10 Rick on my Benavidez hook. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, man. Glad y'all can make it, right? But we about to go get into it. We got David Benavidez, 26-0 with 23 knockouts, 26 years old. He's standing 6'2" with a 74-inch arm reach. He's facing off against Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is 22-1, 13 KOs, been stopped once by Canelo Alvarez. He's 30 years old, 6'1", with a 74-inch arm reach. Opponents of note. Yo, I got 6 people in the building. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, whether you just scrolling through. I know it's other people live right now. I know some of y'all, go be going in and out. But if you could help your boy get in that algo, hit that thumbs up for your boy. Breakdown for the fights this weekend. But opponents who he faced off against in his last fight, Caleb Plant was victorious in getting the knockout stoppage over Anthony Durrell. We got Canelo Alvarez. Caleb Plant came up a little short versus Canelo Alvarez as he got stopped in the 11th round. You got Caleb Truex on Caleb Plant's resume. Then you got guys like Fun Boots, Mike Lee, Jose Stadigi, just to name a few. David Benavidez, he's the younger fighter, you know what I mean, in this fight. Caleb Plant is 30, David Benavidez is 25, or 26, right? Opponents of note on David Benavidez, his last fight was against David Lemieux, in which he stopped in the 3rd round. Before that, you got Caron Davis, you got Ronald Ellis, Alexis Aguilar, and coming opponent is Anthony Durrell. Caleb Plant just faced off against Anthony Durrell last year. David Benavidez faced off but they do have a common opponent, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. So that's always interesting. Again, I stated you got David Benavidez, 6'2", Caleb Plant, 6'1". You got a 74-inch arm reach versus a 72-inch arm reach. You got a 74.5-inch arm reach and David Benavidez. And then you got Caleb Plant with a 74-inch arm reach, right? So the first thing that jumps out to me, the first thing I know is what's good, dude. Josh Sanders, appreciate you sliding through. If y'all could, do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let YouTube know that we live. We going in on this breakdown between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, but you got 6'1" versus 6'2". two, you got a 74-inch arm reach versus and a half-inch arm reach, right? The first thing that jumped out to me, leading up into this, I would think, right, and I'm pretty sure most people think, as you can see, right, Caleb Plant, uh, David Benavidez is the bigger fighter, right? David Benavidez is a bigger guy. David Benavidez, right, is a bigger guy than Caleb Plant. But the first thing that jumps out to me, the arm reach isn't as big as I thought it was, right? I thought David Benavidez will have a huge size advantage over Caleb Plant in this, but he really doesn't, right? You got David Benavidez who's only an inch taller and who has a half an inch Caleb Plant, and a half an inch, right, really isn't much of an advantage at all. You know what I mean? For example, Andre Durrell, and Caleb Plant both have the same arm reach. Andre Durrell, Caleb Plant, and David Benavidez, they all have the exact same arm reach. You know what I mean? 74. David Benavidez has that half an inch on them, but they all have a 74-inch arm reach. The first thing I noticed was no, that was interesting to me. That was one of the first things I noticed. The size advantage, these fights, he's not really going to have that size advantage or that reach advantage against Caleb Plant. When you look at more who's more experienced, right? Like who's been on the level, who's been here before, their edge. So the size advantage will be a slight edge to David Benavidez, right? When you look at the experience advantage, who has the edge of like who's been in the moment before, who is the more ready fighter, for the moment, there will be slight advantage Caleb Plant. Before Caleb Plant's last couple fights, right, versus Canelo Alvarez and Andre Durrell, people question whether Caleb Plant, was ready for the stage. They questioned his opponents, his resume. But, once you add Canelo Alvarez to it, and then you add Andre Durrell, who is probably the best opponent on either of these guys' resume, right? Benavidez or Caleb Plant, then you add him in combination with Anthony Durrell. It's hard to say that Caleb Plant, doesn't have that experience, that edge advantage, the experience edge advantage over David Benavidez right now, which Caleb Plant, admitted to. You know what I mean? So the who's more ready, like for the moment, the experience advantage, I would get it to Caleb Plant, right? Slight size advantage to David Benavidez. Although I thought David Benavidez, had longer arms, Caleb Plant and David Benavidez's arms, are about the same. I think that's something to pay attention to, right? If we go on pound for pound, who's the harder puncher? Right, if you historically, right, if you're looking at it, if you're asking most people, right, if you're asking who's the harder puncher, most people, would say David Benavidez, right? But over here, I'm not most people. I look at it a little differently. You know what I mean? From most people, I look at power, like pound for pound, right? If you put together enough punches on anybody, right, you'll be able to get them out of there, right? But when we talk about power, pound for pound power, I mean like one shot ability, the one shot threat, you know what I mean, of putting guys out of there. I think typically in the fight, right, who displays more power, right? Maybe some will say David Benavidez, right? But when you check, because he has more stoppages, but pound for pound power is how I look at it, and that's a little different, right? From who has the more stoppages or what. I believe the one shot power is a little more even than people may want to accept. I think I will almost maybe edge the pound for pound one shot power to Caleb Plant, because David Benavidez has never had that one shot knockout type deal. He's like an accumulation puncher. Caleb Plant has had a couple. You know what I mean? One shot knockout. And if you look at like the level of the opponents, they're both fighting about the same level of opponent. David Benavidez, I would say, is a better combination puncher, right? He's more of the brawler, puncher in this fight. Caleb Plant is more of the pure boxer, right? Caleb Plant doesn't go in seeking, the KOs. He's a guy that boxes, and if the KO comes, it comes. David Benavidez is what you call a knockout artist. You know what I mean? He's what you call a knockout artist. I didn't say he did, Judah. I said if you actually watching the fight, Judah, and you looking at their fights, okay, I'm gonna put this on the screen. We could do this because I don't want nobody to think I'm capping. We could do this. Okay, who has more one punch knockouts, Judah Ben, Caleb Plant, or David Benavidez? Because you missed what I said. You said I don't have one punch knockout power. I said he got more than David Benavidez. So you tell me from their fights who got more one punch knockouts, Caleb Plant or David Benavidez? Right? We can do this morning. I ain't got number time. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. You got to pay attention to what I said. Never said he had one punch knockout power. I said he has more than David Benavidez. Between those two, who has more one punch knockouts, Caleb Plant or David Benavidez? I don't want people to think I don't want people to think I'm capping. I know y'all get y'all favorites and whatnot, but I do this for every boxer, not just my favorite boxers. I do this unbiasedly, whether I like a fighter or not. Real question. I never said Caleb Plant had one punch knockout power. I said he has more than David Benavidez. So to my guy Judah Ben, who has more one punch knockouts, Caleb Plant or David Benavidez? I know y'all thinking I'm gonna pick Plant because he's from Tennessee. I hate when y'all be trying to do me like that. Like I ain't up here giving you 1,000 reasons why I'm picking the fighter. He said Plant obviously does, but they right, okay, and then okay, let's do it again. So let's do it again, Judah. So who has the better resume, right? They both got knockouts against nobodies. So who has the better resume, right? You said Caleb Plant does, but they're against nobody. So what makes you think? So what makes you think David Ben? So who did David Benavidez knock out, right? Who did David Benavidez knock out that's better than anybody that Caleb Plant knocked out, right? We could actually use the common opponent. Would you like to use the common opponent? You know what I mean? We could do that too. Would you like to use the common opponent? But real question, right? He said Plant obviously, but against nobody. So who did David Benavidez knock out? There would be considered a somebody. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before you interrupted me, my G, they knocked out. They fought about, for the most part, about the same level of competition. They fought about the same level of competition. But what separates Caleb Plant is the Canelo Alvarez fight. That big stage fight, that pay-per-view fight, that headliner. You know what I mean? So if you're going to say that Caleb Plant knocked out nobody, Benavidez knocked out nobody. You know what I mean? They both knocked out nobody. So I'm comparing them on the scale of what they have actually done. Now, I know most people would tell you, right? Benavidez has more power. But again, like I said, I'm not most people. Pound for pound power is different from stoppages. He may have more KOs, but we're not talking about KOs. We're talking about power, pound for pound. More power in the punch, more power on impact. And the more power on impact is Caleb Plant. That Plant has a slightly better resume because Canelo Benavidez came to where earlier he was a champ. Okay, so let's use the common opponent. Like I said, right? You said Benavidez KO Durant earlier. He didn't, right? So that's the first thing. He didn't KO him earlier. Well, I think he did Plant KO'd him in the night, and Benavidez never KO'd him. Because I think Benavidez was the 8th and Caleb Plant was the 9th. You know what I mean? No. He didn't KO him early. They KO'd him the same round, the 9th round. The first, he did not KO him earlier. They KO'd him the same, unless they KO, right? Again, two are different. One person got a tail, right? David Benavidez.
and one person, Caleb Plant, got a KO. Two different things. A stoppage is a stoppage. Yeah, a stoppage is a stoppage unless you nitpicking, which is what you're doing, which is what we doing, right? So they both got stopped in the same round. He did stop him earlier, and one person got a KO, and the other person got a TKO. One person was losing the fight at the time of his TKO, and one person was dominating the fight at the time of his knockout. Common opponent, right? The same common opponent, right? The same common opponent. Now you may feel like David Benavidez gonna win, right? But that's exactly what I'm saying. For all the reasons people feel like David Benavidez gonna win, is mostly his power, right? It's mostly his power, right? And I know I'm finna hurt some of y'all feelings with this, because I'm making too much sense right now. You know what I mean? We all just agree. No, it's not. It's not the same thing when you're talking about two people that's about to get in the ring and fight each other, bro. No, it's not the same thing. A TKO is a TKO. Did you see David Benavidez versus Andre Durrell? And did you see Caleb Plant versus Anthony Durrell? Tell me, go watch. I dare anybody to actually go watch Caleb Plant versus Anthony Durrell, and then watch David Benavidez versus Anthony Durrell. Wait until the knockouts and tell me if the knockouts was the same. A TKO is not the same thing as a KO. It's not the same thing. They both count as stoppages, but they're not the same thing. Go watch the fights and tell me if that was the same thing. Two completely different situations happening when one guy got TKO, the other guy got knockout. And they both got the knockout in the same round. Now, true enough, Durrell was younger, right? His punch placement is much different than Canelo's too. Yeah, fact. And so is his power. Canelo punches a lot harder than David Benavidez. That's what I'm saying. And I'm breaking down the fact right now. That if you could get outside of, what it looked like, right? Caleb Plant punches harder than David Benavidez. David Benavidez's advantages, right, comes with volume, right? And it comes with value, and it comes with him being able to land on you. Caleb Plant is a defensive fighter who's learning to sit down on his punches. The Bearman himself said accumulation punches at an accurate rate is worse than a one-punch KO. Yep, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. But how often do you see Caleb Plant? We're not talking about a broad scenario. We're talking about one fight, two fighters. One fight, two fighters. How often does Caleb Plant get hit with an accumulation of punches? When Caleb Plant got knocked out, it was by a one-punch knockout artist. Y'all, I'm going to say that again slow because I know I'm over y'all heads right now. You just said it. Judah Ben. You just said it, Judah Ben. Right. How often does Caleb Plant get hit? With an accumulation of punches? How often is Caleb Plant standing there for you to hit him with 3, 4, 5, 6 punches? When Caleb Plant lost, it was a one-punch knockout. It's about the style of the fight. Canelo was able to beat. Y'all feel like Benavidez is better than Canelo. Y'all do. I don't feel like Benavidez is better than Canelo. Y'all feel like Benavidez is better than Canelo, and he stopped Caleb Plant. But styles make fights. A one-punch knockout artist can beat Caleb Plant. Benavidez is not a one-punch knockout artist. Benavidez is an accumulation punch guy. Nobody is accumulating punches on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is not going to be there. And David Benavidez has never fought a guy like Caleb Plant. David Benavidez has never fought a pure boxer yet. He has never fought a pure boxer, bro. Is there anyone going to forget Benavidez has no defense, blocked punches with his face, and was dropped by a jab by cab driver Ronald Gravel? Judah Ben, and Dave Benavidez has never fought a pure boxer. He's never fought a pure boxer at the level of Caleb Plant. He has yet to fight a pure boxer. At the level of one Caleb Plant. You saying that he ain't never fought about like Benavidez? Caleb Plant never fought no dude with power. He ain't never fought dude with power. He all fought dude with power. Benavidez ain't special. Benavidez throw a lot of punches. You got to hit Caleb Plant with those punches. Caleb Plant is not going to be there. He's not going to be standing there. You got to be a one-shot artist. If you go get him out of, you got to be a one-shot guy to get Caleb Plant out of there. Benavidez don't hit hard enough to spin Caleb Plant loopy like Canelo did. He just don't. He don't. He just don't. He just put Benavidez with Canelo on. Canelo puts that boy to sleep in 8 rounds. Same way how Tank Davis stopped Santa Cruz. It looked like that. My thing is, I was getting somewhere. With it. I was trying to break it down, eloquently on how that power. We were saying power, and I know I was gonna touch some hearts with that. Me too, MP. I know I was gonna touch some hearts there, but I want to finish what I was saying because I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with that, right? I'm going somewhere with it. Pound for pound, right? Most people tell you that David Benavidez is the harder puncher, right? But the way I break it down, the way I see it, the way I look at it, when you look at who they actually been in the ring with, who they actually fought, the way that they knock people out, pound for pound, the harder puncher is Caleb Plant. Pound for pound, the harder puncher is Caleb Plant. Benavidez is an accumulation puncher. Caleb Plant isn't the guy that's going to be there for you to, to add up those punches to hit him. You have to catch Caleb Plant, to knock him, to knock him loose, to knock him off balance. Caleb Plant is a guy who's a good athlete, who's a good mover. If David Benavidez is coming in here, just trying to overwhelm Caleb Plant, with the stamina, with the with the volume punches, that could be a problem for him. My guy brought up Ronald Gravell. Ronald Gravell was able to catch, David Benavidez in between his shots and drop him. Caleb Plant is a master counterpuncher. Caleb Plant is quick with his hands. Caleb Plant is now learning to sit down on his punches. So now you got a guy who's a natural boxer, right? A guy who's quick with his hands, a guy who's a natural counterpuncher, right? Now you got him who's fighting a natural puncher. David Benavidez does not possess their one punch knockout power. David Benavidez does have power, accumulation power, but this theory and this myth that everyone should be afraid of David Benavidez's power. I don't attest to that. I think David Benavidez has power if he could put his punches together. I think he has power if he can land on you multiple times, right? Caleb Plant is not a guy that you can land on, multiple times. Type there. David Benavidez, if he comes into this fight, right, chasing a knockout like he normally does, come in trying to overwhelm a guy, right? Trying to overwhelm the guy, trying to, basically trying to make the guy, he needs to make Caleb Plant uncomfortable, right? But if he's solely focused on him breaking Caleb Plant, I guess is what I should say. If he's solely focused on coming here and breaking Caleb Plant's will, right, he may find himself walking forward and taking, punishment, looking up, and it's the 12th round and the fight over with. You know what I mean? David Benavidez in this fight, what David Benavidez does well, his advantages in this fight, right? His normal advantages that he has in most contests, right? It's his size, his hand speed, right, and his power, right? You could throw in accuracy, right? His size, his hand speed, his power, and his accuracy, right? Him and Caleb Plant are about the same size, 6'1", 6'2". They both got 74-inch arm reaches. Hand speed, David Benavidez has quick hands. Caleb Plant speed, is about tit for tat. Right? You know what I mean? If you go on power, a lot of people, right, feel like David Benavidez has more power, right? So let's say David Benavidez has more power, but even if he does, it's slightly more power. And I don't think David Benavidez has more power. I think Caleb Plant actually has more power in his punches, right? You know what I mean? I think Benavidez has power in the accumulation of punches, right? And his accuracy, right? Caleb Plant is just as accurate as David Benavidez. everything he does well, right? Everything Benavidez normally, has big advantages on, right? He does well. It's more even in this fight. This is easily going to be the best guy that David Benavidez has ever been in the ring with. I don't know if it's the best guy that Caleb Plant been in the ring with. This isn't the biggest stage that Caleb Plant has been on. This is easily the biggest stage that David Benavidez has been on. David Benavidez has never been in the ring with, a boxer quite like Caleb Plant. I can almost argue David Benavidez has never been in the ring with, a natural boxer. You know what I mean? Caleb Plant has been in the ring with who some will consider pound for pound, Canelo Alvarez type deal. I think if David Benavidez can control the moment right, if David Benavidez is able to have success with finding Caleb Plant right, he's able to have success with controlling their range, have success with making Caleb Plant uncomfortable, right? If he could beat Caleb Plant to the punch, maybe he want to try to infiltrate when Caleb Plant throws his jab, maybe countering Caleb Plant in between his punches. But I think David Benavidez, he's going to have to be a little more cerebral in this fight if you want to pull this fight off against Caleb Plant. Like if he comes in thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get a second round stoppage," like his team said that they come in here and they plan to stop Caleb Plant before 6 rounds, right? I hope that that's not really his game plan. I hope his game plan in this fight is to let the knockout come to him, because I feel like if he go in there overly excited, he could let the moment get to him, and he very well could punch himself out. It's different being under those lights in those big situations than just fighting on TV or undercard. You know what I mean? With all eyes on you. If all eyes on you, that's a different type of pressure. If David is able to control the moment, right? If he's able to slow the fight down a little bit, not the actual fight right, but slow it down inside his mind. If he's able to actually slow it down inside of his mind, I could see him, beating Caleb Plant, stopping Caleb Plant. True enough, the only way I see David Benavidez winning this fight is if he gets, the stoppage on Caleb Plant. I don't see David Benavidez being able to outbox Caleb Plant. Maybe he went on the scorecards if he could drop Caleb Plant a few times. You know what I mean? Type deal. For Caleb Plant in this fight, I feel like he learned a lot from that Canelo Alvarez, you know what I mean, loss, as you saw him display in the Anthony Durrell fight. I like what I saw from Caleb Plant in that Anthony Durrell fight. I like what I saw from Caleb Plant in the Anthony Durrell fight. I like his improved inside game. I like his improved catch and shoot game. I like how Caleb Plant he used a little less movement against Durrell, and he sat on his punches. Caleb Plant is a guy he got with Breadman. Caleb Plant didn't need a whole lot of fixing. I think Caleb Plant is a guy who struggled with his stamina issue, right? But I don't think it's because he wasn't in shape. Caleb Plant is a guy who's in shape year round. Caleb Plant got with Breadman, and all Breadman did was he fixed his movement in the way that he moved around the ring, which helped Caleb Plant conserve his energy more. And I think that showed in that Anthony Durrell fight. For Caleb Plant to win this fight, I think he's going to have to use his athleticism. He's going to have to be mentally prepared for the pressure that David Benavidez is going to try to put on him. He has that experience, right, with Canelo. Canelo has that same kind of stalking pressure and style, right? Caleb Plant, he got a chance to deal with it, and he made it to 11 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. So as far as the pressure go, right, he dealt with it with Canelo Alvarez. He gonna have to boggle some of that, right, and he gonna have to amp up the volume on that a tick when it comes to David Benavidez. I feel like David Benavidez has more volume than Canelo, right, but he doesn't have the power that Canelo has, right. So I think the impact of the punches will be a little different from him taking the Canelo punch, but I think the volume of the punches, is going to be there more. So I think that's going to allow Caleb Plant to be able to, think a little better, because he don't got to worry about, that one punch power that Canelo got, right? As far as as he did. He don't got to worry about that one punch power with Benavidez like he had to worry about, that one punch power with Canelo. He got to worry about the volume more so with David Benavidez. If he could, find a way to mentally handle that pressure, which you should be able to do, type deal. I see Caleb Plant being able to outbox David Benavidez. David Benavidez throws a lot of punches, right? He gets a little wide with his punches. He likes to have his hands low. David Benavidez, as we saw Caleb Plant in his last fight, Caleb Plant is an excellent counter puncher to the top and to the body. Mixes up his punches nice. We saw David Benavidez get dropped. You know what I mean, with a similar, body head combination that Caleb Plant displayed on Anthony Durrell, right? So David Benavidez, he goes in there and he's overly aggressive, right? He gets sloppy, he gets a little out of place. David Benavidez doesn't have the best feet. Caleb Plant has much better footwork. If David Benavidez gets sloppy or gets out of place, a guy like Caleb Plant, a unique boxer like Caleb Plant, he's going to be the kind of guy that takes advantage of that situation. David Benavidez in this fight, he doesn't have the range on Caleb Plant like I thought. David Benavidez more so wants to fight, you know what I mean, like mid-range to inside. Caleb Plant is more so a mid-range to outside fighter. But in Caleb Plant's last fight, he fought mostly in range and inside. And I think if Caleb Plant, if he decides, I think in order to win this fight, right, Caleb Plant at some point he is going to have to go inside with David Benavidez like he displayed against Anthony Durrell. If Caleb Plant is able to even out, right, the inside exchanges, I think Caleb Plant is much better at a distance. I think Caleb Plant and David Benavidez having the same reach is advantage Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant is a better boxer. So I think David Benavidez, not having that size advantage is going to play a big part in this. I think Caleb Plant working with Breadman, improving his inside game, his inside fighting game is going to play a big part in this. I think Caleb Plant is a little bit, right? I actually think Caleb Plant is a lot more defensively sound than David Benavidez. David Benavidez is more so of an offensive fighter, as to where Caleb Plant is more balanced. And I think Caleb Plant being a more balanced fighter is what's going to lead him to this victory. You know what I mean, in this fight. So I got Caleb Plant, unanimous decision over David Benavidez. I think it's going to be a good fight. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. But I think the skill is going to overpower the will of David Benavidez in this fight in the next couple of weeks. I got a couple more of these fight breakdowns and predictions coming. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Y'all catch me on the back end. I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. Skin hard away certainty. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how you rocking. And I'm out. Love.